Hello, welcome to PH Maths. Number in focus on root 10. Root 10 is the sneaky surd that hides inside standard form, the diagonal of a 1/3 rectangle, and a rough engineer's approximation for pi. By the end of this video, you'll know how root 10 emerges from any even power of 10, where it simplifies out of root 40 and root 90, and why it's almost, but not quite, pi. Quick identity check, root 10 is positive, root 10 is irrational, root 10 is algebraic. It solves x squared equals 10. And as a decimal, it's approximately 3.16228. Notice how close that is to pi, which is 3.14159. Same first digit, second digit nearly matches, but they're different numbers and they diverge from there. Multiples of root 10. Root 10, 2 root 10, 3 root 10, 4 root 10. Standard surd handling. K times root 10 equals K root 10 in radical form. Don't decimalize unless the question demands it. Root 10 is the kind of surd that often pops out of Pythagoras questions or as the answer to a logarithm question at A-level. Keep it symbolic. Powers of root 10. Root 10 to the 0 is 1. Root 10 to the 1 is root 10. Squared is 10. Cubed is 10 root 10. Fourth is 100. Fifth is 100 root 10. And here's the neat one. Root 10 is equal to 10 to the 1/2. So root 10 to the n equals 10 to the n over 2. That's the bridge between surds and exponents. Almost pi but not pi. Root 10 is roughly 3.16. Pi is roughly 3.14. Old engineers, before electronic calculators were everywhere, sometimes used root 10 as a quick approximation for pi because it was easier to calculate. The error is only about 0.66%. Close enough for a back-of-the-envelope calculation, but they are absolutely different numbers, and don't be fooled if a question asks for an exact answer. Key relationships. Root 10 squared equals 10. Root 10 is roughly 3.16228. 1 over root 10 equals root 10 over 10. Surd simplifications. Root 40 equals 2 root 10. Root 90 equals 3 root 10. Root 250 equals 5 root 10. And the diagonal of a 1/3 rectangle by Pythagoras equals root 10. 1 squared plus 3 squared equals 10. Where root 10 shows up in your exam, simplifying surds like root 40, root 90, root 160, root 250. Pythagoras on a 1/3 right triangle gives a hypotenuse of root 10. Rough approximations. If a question allows it, root 10 is close enough to pi for sense checking. Indices. Root 10 equals 10 to the 1/2. And logarithms at A-level. Log base 10 of root 10 equals 0.5. Where root 10 hides, anywhere you see root 40, root 90, root 160, root 250, root 360, root 490. That's a hidden root 10. Pythagoras on a 1/3 rectangle. Half power of 10, 10 to the 1/2 is root 10. And any surd where the radicand is 10 times a perfect square. Root 90 is root 9 times 10, which simplifies to 3 root 10. If any of this is going to stick beyond this video, drop into phmaths.com. You'll find a free 4-week GCSE Higher revision planner ready to download, plus the mastery workbooks. One for every higher topic, every answer fully worked, every common slip flagged. Simple explanations, serious results. See you next video.